Hi everyone, Bear from Bear Reads Books here for a quick library tour today. A few different parts of the library. So we have the new library starting work soon to house all the books that are currently sitting in my garage in boxes. So something interesting today, what we're going to do is take a look at the boxes. We're going to number them and choose one. And then we're going to take a look at the blank canvas that is my front room at the moment where the library is going to go. And then we'll come back here and explore one of the boxes of books that we choose from the garage. So let's go and have a look. Where to first? Let's try the front room. See you there. So this incredibly blank room, including the colour swatches, this one here, is going to be my new library. So paint cans, I've been painting the ceiling, and the construction of the bookcases is going to happen and starting on the 20th of January, which I can't wait. So in that time between now and the 20th of January, I'm going to tear up the carpets, paint the ceiling, which I did yesterday, maybe need another coat on the ceiling, choose a colour for the wall, and it's going to be this one, which is called Silver Tea Set. Very excited with that name. Paint all the walls in Silver Tea Set, and I'm going to get some new carpet. So after all of the bookcases go in, some nice carpet, new couch, new reading chair, some nice lamps, some nice wall lights. Got an electrician arriving at any moment to take out the current lights and to take the old fan out and install a beautiful black ceiling fan. It's so exciting. So, stage one. But this is the reason, this blank room with no bookcases, this is the reason why I've got all of those boxes in the garage. Let's go back to the boxes. Okay, so we're in my garage. And the light just went off. So we're in my garage. And here are all of the books that I currently have in boxes, not on shelves. If we can count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, 11 boxes. Now to number them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, as you saw, there were 11 boxes in the garage, and you've seen why they're in the garage, because I have no bookshelf storage in this house. Now to choose, I'm going to do a library tour. I've never done a library tour before on BookTube because I've never had a library. I've got little bookshelves, but soon to be a library. So what I'm going to do is out of the 11 books, out of the 11 boxes out in my garage, I'm going to write the numbers down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. See that? Great. Those numbers are going to get torn up into tiny pieces like this. It's like magic before your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And all of these pieces of paper are going to go into this very stylish hat. As you can see, it's a very stylish hat. Not sure why I bought this hat, but it's pretty nice. It serves a purpose. Obviously for choosing pieces of paper out of a hat. So, All 11 pieces go into this very stylish hat. And then we choose one. The box that gets chosen from the stylish hat becomes the focus of my bookshelf tour. Or in this case, my book box tour. And this will have to suffice until after the 20th of January when my bookshelves get built. So, who would like to choose? Oh, you, please. So this number here. So we are going to look at box number, oh crap, 10. That way. Box number 10. You all see that? Box number 10. So time for a bookshelf tour. I'll be right back. So I'm back. And to prove to you that this is number 10, where is the other side? Whoa. Number 10. So you guys are very lucky. Every time I go looking for a book in the garage, I crack one of these boxes that has all taped up and sealed, and I keep uncracking boxes until I find the book I want. I'd never gotten to number 10, so it's completely sealed. So I've cracked the tape. So this is a bunch of books that I haven't seen in at least 3 years. So this will be exciting. So this looks like, on the surface, a mixture of university books when I studied history and literature, and then just other stuff. This is the Norton Anthology of English Literature. Probably a 5th edition from the 1980s, I guess, which is what early 90s is when I was studying. So, and in this book was when I first discovered Johnson's Dr. Faust. Faust and Mephistopheles, and it just blew me away. Absolutely amazing. It was one of my favourite plays when I was at university. And I also, in this book, is both Henrys of William Shakespeare. So I'm not sure why I've got this, the Jane Austen Book Club. It could be my wife's. I've never read it. Karen Joy Fowler, the Jane Austen Book Club. Doesn't sound like something I would read. Something someone gave me as a gift. Giving me books as gifts is a dangerous thing. Surviving the Zombie Outbreak, the official zombie survival field guide. A bit of fun, but, you know, how to do an emergency childbirth, excellent. What not to do. Do not use love as a weapon to defeat zombies. Do not try to blend in with zombies to avoid attack. You hear that, Walking Dead? It doesn't work as a plot device. Do not ingest alcohol or mind-altering drugs. Do not stand in front of windows. Very, very good tip. Strangely enough, I remember this fondly. 2 Treatises of Government by John Locke. Yeah, I don't know why I remember this fondly. I studied government and political philosophy, and 2 Treatises of Government was really interesting at the time. This was so interesting. Hang on a sec while I grab this. This is just so exciting. Oh, look at this. From Victober, I wish I had have known I had this. 3 great Thomas Hardy novels. When I was looking around for stuff to read during Victober, I should have dug this out and forgot I even had it. Which 3 books? Tess of the D'Urbervilles, Mayor of Casterbridge, and Far from the Madding Crowd. Well, that would have been useful 2 months ago. This is great. This is probably 15 years old. Splendour and Squalor. If you see this around, Splendour and Squalor: The Disgrace and Disintegration of 3 Aristocratic Dynasties by Marcus Scriven. And I'll leave that there so you can read the cover. It is fantastic. It's really entertaining, just about the stupid things that rich people do with their money and how they ruin a perfectly good thing. It says, a highly entertaining tale of decadence and debauchery. Scriven acts as an expert and merciless chronicler of the upper class on its uppers. He has done future historians a valuable service by committing their misdeeds to paper, and it is full of just rich people's misdeeds. It is great. What else was in this book? This was quite a serious read, but I found it very interesting. It was I See a Voice and it's about how deaf people interact with the world. A philosophical history by Jonathan Ray, I think it was Ray, and I remember when this came out and Jonathan Ray was interviewed on television and all sorts of things, but for what is essentially a pretty difficult book to read, and an academic treatise about how the deaf operate in a modern world, it's fascinating. Get rid of some of these more universal. There's lots of these Oxford History of Australia, the Norton Introduction to Literature. There's lots of those. A History of Philosophy. So there's a whole bunch of university level textbooks. Macmillan Anthology of English Literature. Plato to Dryden, Literary Criticism. Oh my God, I can't believe I studied literary criticism. It's terrible. Peter Ackroyd's Venice, he writes a lot. He writes a lot of historical fiction and historical chronicling of cities, and Venice, I think, was his first attempt at that. That was really good. And what's that one? Oh, hello there. The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, made into a despicably horrible film, but this is a good book. Here's some older ones. Let me see. Oh, look at that. Memoirs of an Invisible Man by H.F. Saint. This is not the Invisible Man of the other Invisible Man book. This is Memoirs of an Invisible Man. It is a bestseller. I think they made it into a movie with Chevy Chase, might have been the Invisible Man. It was a barrel of laughs. Not. But the book itself is actually pretty good. It is actually about a man who becomes invisible and how he gets about. Oh, this moved me. The Razor's Edge by Somerset Maugham. I first saw this movie, The Razor's Edge. I can't remember who was in the movie. It's a 1930s movie, or thereabouts. And I think I remember watching A Razor's Edge with my grandmother late at night while I was spending some time at my grandmother's house, and just even as a child thought it was a great film. And when I grew up studying literature, this popped up on a reading list somewhere, and it's just as good, or if not better. It was a fantastic movie, and it's a great book. The Razor's Edge by Somerset Maugham. This is a goldmine. I can't go through everything, but there's some seriously good books in here. Stephen Donahue will be happy. The Chronicles of Thomas Covenant. That is number 2 of the first trilogy. The Ill-Earth War. That was excellent. A bunch of Patrick White here. Goodness, Patrick White. Excuse me. Patrick White, if you didn't know, is an Australian author. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature. He writes a lot of very detailed, very complex books with so much imagery. Here's 2 of his very well-known books, The Art Story and The Twyborn Affair. Anything you pick up by Patrick White will be good, but it will be a challenge. I warn you of that. He's an Australian writing in the 50s and 60s, and was very good. What else have I got in here that you might like? Ray Bradbury, Vladimir Nabokov, holy crap, Silas Marner, The Summer of the 17th Doll. There is lots of Brontes, Christopher Marlowe. Oh yeah. This hat's too hot. I'm going to take it off. Wow. As stylish as it was, way too hot. So there is too many books to show everything that was in this box. There's like 50 books in this thing. All pretty exciting stuff. I mean, that's a hell of a first choice. Box number 10. Well done, whoever chose that one. There is way too much to go through, and a Bible. There's a ton of things in this box. So occasionally I might do one of these between now and the end of January, when I'll have an actual bookcase to show you. I may do a couple more of these just to crack a box and get excited about going through lots of different books. So it is really hot in Australia today. If you have a look at a map, I'm on the far east, away from the coast, but almost as far east as you can go. And it is 39 degrees today here. You can do your own calculations to get that to Fahrenheit, but it's way over 100. It's just terrible, terrible weather. So I'm sitting outside going through a box of books and wearing a ridiculously hot hat. So it's time to go inside and have a drink. I hope you've enjoyed my little library tour exploration. It's been really fun. We'll do it again real soon. Thank you very much. Talk to you again soon, everyone. Bye-bye.